I need the best y'all got. Tryna make a dollar, flip it like it's vinyl. Tryna make a way. What's it worth to you if the price too high? Quid pro quo, I need the best y'all got. Give me your best. Don't say nothing less, cause I'm giving you 100. How you always leaving me with nothing? I'm not impressed. It's gonna take more than this, cause I'm giving you 100. And I don't even know if I can trust you for nothing.
Well, it looks like we are on, and welcome. Good morning. Wow, that camera is way over there. Good morning, guys. How are you? Welcome to January the 25th, 2023. It is going to be a fantastic day. Good morning, Carrie. Look at Carrie Leland being first in the door. She is first in the door this morning, y'all. Carrie Leland, good morning. Good morning, good morning. Good morning to wherever you are. Y'all see that little ding right there? It won't heal. Sucks about being bald, not having hair, not having any protection on your head. When you bust your skull. Lynn Garrison, good morning. Good morning, everybody. Come on in. Come on in. What a great day. Good morning, Kristen. What a great morning. Looking forward to having a fantastic day today. Y'all, it's January the 25th. It's hard to believe it's the 25th day of January. Hard to believe that I've made it 25 days in 75 hard. We are at a third of the way there, y'all. 33% of the way done, getting through this day and knocking it out. So congratulations, Michelle T. And for 25 days, congratulations to Vanessa for 23. Congratulations to all my 75 harders that are out there still grinding and making it happen. That's awesome. Y'all know the drill. My name is Aaron Dwyer. My wife, Christy, and I own Exit Realty Lake Country. We have offices in Tennessee and in Georgia. And every single morning we get on here at 5:30 Central, 6:30 Eastern, share a little motivation, little love, little fun, little happy, little laughter, go through some things and just try to get our day started off in the right mindset. I know that when we start our days off in the right mindset, when we have a morning routine and we get the day off in the right trajectory, a lot of times we have a better opportunity of really having a fantastic day. And if we can string enough fantastic days together, we can make a fantastic life. So for those of you who don't know me, that's for you. For those of you who do that are on here now, most of y'all know who we are, which is pretty fantastic. Speaking of which, I need to send this really quick. And if you're here this morning, you're up with us this morning. If you're on the Exit Realty Lake Country Nation page, if you are on the agent page, y'all know the drill. Please let me know you're here by good morning and make this really interactive. We want you guys to jump in here and make it interactive and make sure that I know you're here. We can have fantastic discussions and really have a great morning. So good morning, Michelle T. Good morning, Vanessa. Kristen Teal. Good morning, everybody. Good gosh, what a great morning. Y'all, yesterday was one of those days. I'm telling y'all, this 75 hard thing has been, it's not physically demanding. But last night, the last two nights, I'm having a hard time, especially on hockey nights, getting that second workout in because you just run out of time. Just by the time you drive and do all the things that I've got to do when I'm in Tennessee, I just run out of time. And last night, driving back from hockey at like 10 after 9 last night, I was thinking, gosh, I've got to get another workout in. Gosh, I've got to go do this. Gosh, I've got to get this thing done, which is crazy that this morning when I'm reading the book 10X. So if y'all have not, do you know who Grant Cardone is? I'm sure all of you do. I mean, Grant Cardone is a pretty well-known name. Coach Bird talks about Grant Cardone all the time. Grant, if you're going to watch this later, I'm sure you're not. But if you do, I apologize for this. But I always thought Grant Cardone to find himself, he likes himself a lot. And for me, sometimes with a big ego like I have, that can be off-putting. That was my deal with Coach Burt for a long time because I've got an ego sometimes as big as outside. And so with that, my ego clashes against Grant Cardone's ego. My ego clashed against Coach Burt's ego. And I was really resistant to what they were saying, even though it was fantastic information. And it was probably information that was really, really good. I sort of rail against it, right? So I watched Grant Cardone a couple years ago. I started watching him a little bit and bought the 10X book, but there's highlights in it. There's highlights in the book. So obviously somebody's read it. I just don't know if I read it because everything seems new to me. So I digress. This morning when I woke up, the chapter that I'm reading this morning that I read, if you don't know who Grant Cardone is, he's a serial entrepreneur, real estate developer, very, very successful, kind of grew up from nothing, was a drug addict and alcoholic and a lot of issues in his life when he was in his mid-20s, and then turned all that around and has built a phenomenal company, an amazing company. And his story is really motivating if you pay attention and listen to it. But the chapter that I'm reading this morning was kind of the chapter, the title of what we're going to talk about today. So before I start, how many of you on the call got the email yesterday with the action sheet, with that daily checklist, that real estate daily checklist? Did you get that? Everybody? Yes, no, maybe so. Good morning, Cynthia. Okay. If you got it, I'm assuming everybody got it. Okay. I don't know if I can share this or not. I'm going to try. Because there was something interesting about this that I wanted to, let's see if I can share it. I don't know if I can. Let's see if I can. I don't know if I can share it. But there was something interesting, and I don't know if y'all caught this, but there was something interesting on that sheet that I don't know if you actually caught it. Because everybody was looking for the most interesting thing to me was at the bottom of the second page. Here, I'm gonna do this. I can share this screen. All right, let me share this. Can y'all share the? Let me make sure this is working. Yep, there you go. This right here is the most important thing for me on the entire deal. Not the daily action checklist, not the things you're going to mark off, not the things you're going to check off and the numbers you're going to tally. This date, 4/20/07, was the most interesting thing on this whole deal for me. And here's the reason why. Nothing's new under the sun. Y'all have heard me say this. This daily action checklist is 16 years old. This daily action checklist was created prior to the real estate debacle of 08 and 09. The crazy thing about this business, and Diane, I'll send it to you. I sent it to our agents yesterday, but I'll send you a copy of it. The thing about this business reflects life in this way. Life is so super simple. And it's in the simple things we get the most joy. And when we do and pay attention to the simple things all the time, when we invest and pay attention to and enjoy the simple things in life, many times our life reflects our attention to the simple things. And when our life begins to reflect our attention in the simple things, our life begins to expand. Our life begins to blossom. Our enjoyment of life begins to expand. Our enjoyment of life begins to blossom. Things mean more. They are more valuable. We have more satisfaction when we pay attention to the simple things. But because they're so simple, they don't seem important. And this business is not any different. When you look at that tally sheet from 2007, it's the same things that have been going on in this business for the past 16 years through downs and ups and downs and ups and plateaus and valleys and peaks. It's all the same. It's doing the simple things over and over and over again that make the massive impact. So the title of this today was Doers, the Home Depot slogan. What's Home Depot's slogan? What's their tagline on their commercials? At the end of the commercial, they've shown all the people painting and smiling, and they're having a blast building their decks, and they're refinishing walls and recarpeting their living rooms, and they're all smiling and having a fantastic time at it. What's the tagline at the end of those commercials? Come on, somebody put it in there. When you watch the Home Depot commercial, what's the tagline at the end of the commercial? I gave you a hint, the title today. Home Depot's tagline, for those of you that are scrambling, trying to figure out Home Depot's commercial, you've seen them 1,000 times. That are on every freaking Saturday morning when you watch college football. Home Depot, how doers get things done. How doers get things done. Atta girl, Cynthia. Cynthia pulled it out. This is how, that tally sheet yesterday, how doers get things done. Success doesn't come to watchers. Success doesn't come to learners. Success doesn't come to wannabes. Success doesn't come to anyone but doers. And when you read Grant Cardone in the chapter that I'm reading this morning, that's why this is so cool and why this tally sheet is so cool, because we've had stories from Erica Macklin last week. We just got a story from Christy's brother, Craig, who's a real estate agent in Florida yesterday, that said, I just went out and did it. I just started doing it. I just started calling people. I got inspired by Erica said I got inspired by the for sale by owner class, so I went out and did it. And she got a listing. Craig said, I got inspired yesterday by the call, so I just started calling expireds. And I started calling expireds, and I got 3 appointments, and they're all over $800,000. Action is how doers get things done. And if you read Grant Cardone's book, there are four levels of action. There are do nothing, there is retreat, there is do average, and then there's massive actions. Doing more than other people. And there are a lot of times in our lives where we're a combination of any one of those 4 things. We can be super, super motivated and super, super good at one thing. Like Carrie Leland, when you put some flour and some sugar and some food coloring and things around her, she works for Elf and Magic, and she makes some fantastic things. You put that stuff in front of me, I ain't doing it. And I can assure you, you put the same ingredients in front of me, I don't know how to put them together to make them taste good. I got to probably figure it out, but it's going to take me 6 or 7 times to figure it out. But it's going to take me taking action to figure it out. You put this stuff in front of Carrie, it's like, bam. Now, I may be wrong, but you put, hammers and nails and saws and blueprints in front of Carrie and say, hey, go frame this house. She may go say, I'm not sure that's my deal. Now, she has the ability. She probably could do it. It would take her some time to do it. But it would take her a minute to figure it out. But here's what happens in our business. Here's what happens in our lives. Here's what we do. We have been hypnotized, and you've heard me say this before, you've been hypnotized into being mediocre. You have been hypnotized into not feeling like you deserve or should have or should. There are other things that are more important than money. Okay, and I'm putting that in quotes. And they're just words that are said. But only doers get things done. I told you I've got a sign in my office in Greensboro that says, ideas are worthless, execution is everything. And looking at that tally sheet, looking at all the things that need to be done, and hearing a story from an agent down in Florida. Good morning, Miss Brenda. Sorry, I missed that. Hearing a story from an agent, a realtor in Florida, who went out and started doing the things that needed to be done and started checking off those tally marks. And he texted me in the middle of the day and he says, dude, he said, this thing works. When you get out and just do it, it actually works. That's the crazy thing, that it's so simple, it's easy to overlook. It's so simple that it's easy just to walk by. The most important things in life are so simple, but we walk by them every day and don't appreciate them. The easiest, best relationships in our lives are just simple. They're just simple. They just do what they do. And we fail to appreciate them for what they are. our business, what you do, your desire to go get that thing, your desire to not be average. And y'all, that's a deal for me. I have an unnerving fear of being average. And I'm just being real straight, being real honest with you. I have an unnerving fear of being average. I have an unnerving fear of not doing something big. Now, depending who you talk to, if I Googled those symptoms on WebMD, I may have a disease. I may have some neurosis. I may have some psychosis in my emotions or something in my brain that's not wired correctly. But it bothers me to feel like I'm average. I'm being straight with you. So are there things in even in that fear? Here's the problem: is there times when I do nothing? And there are times when I give average effort. Now, this may be the psychosis, and this may be my neurosis, is that I expect not to be average, but only give average effort. I expect to be exceptional, but I don't want to give exceptional effort. And it's only in the exceptional effort. It's only in the exceptional doing that we are in the exceptional being. Jim Rohn says all the time, if you want an above average income, you got to be an above average human. We always wait for something on the outside to make it better. We wait for if I get enough money, or if I can get that listing, or if I have the right car, or if I dress the right way, or if I do this or I do that. We're always waiting for some external influence to create for us enough momentum, or to create for us a cause so that we can go create an effect. We're waiting on something on the outside to do something that the inside should be doing. Do y'all feel that? I mean, do you feel like sometimes especially some of you newer agents, Vanessa's and Teal's and Cynthia's, do y'all, and even the older agents, do you find yourself sometimes sitting down and as you go through your goals, or if you haven't done your goals, please get them on paper. But you try to justify your goals. You try to justify your goals against whatever's on the outside. You try to justify what you want and justify your goals on what you may have done in the past, or what may have happened to you in the past. You set your goal with some limitation, because the first thing that you say to yourself when you create that goal, especially if you try to push it a little bit, is, I don't think I can do that. And how many times have you said to yourself, raise your hand to be honest right now, how many times have you said to yourself, as you're setting your goals, if you're sitting down to think about what you want to do, where you want to go, what kind of business you want to have, what kind of family relationship you want to have, what kind of vacations you want to take, how many of you set limitations on those goals? Because you don't want to push too far. You don't want to push so far that you disappoint yourself. Lord knows we go through life and get disappointed by people outside of us. Why in the heck would we want to create a situation where we disappoint ourselves? The journey, and I thought about this the other day, and it's so true. I look at the people on this call and the amount of talent on this call, the amount of real estate talent on this call, as I look back at what we've done as a company and where we've taken people and how we've been able to, for whatever reason, created an environment where people can come in, get things from Christy and I, get things from this company, get things from you guys, take things away from our relationship, take things away from our culture, take things away from our energy. And they begin to go out and do things, and they create really super successful businesses for all intents and purposes. Because when you get to a point where you're making $200,000 or $300,000 a year in commission, when you get to the point where you're making $150,000, $160,000 a year in commission, you're now a top producer. You are now moving into the top 5 or 6% of income earners in this business. The crazy thing is even I Good morning, Erica. Even I put limits on that. I absolutely believe that I can make $300,000 a year selling real estate at the drop of a hat. Matter of fact, I'm going to do that this year. Okay. I'm not going to compete with any of you guys, and I will never be a competing broker, but I'm going to sell over 300,000. I'm going to generate over $300,000 in gross commission this year, because I promise you it's going to happen. I've set my mind on it. I've wrapped my head around it, and that's what I'm going to do. But the crazy thing is, that's my limit right now. That's what I know I can do. I absolutely believe that's possible, and I absolutely believe that's what I'm going to do. Now, when I watch somebody like Ben Balak on that video that I sent you guys yesterday, when I watch him, and he's going to make probably 5 or 6 million this year, 7 or 8 million this year in gross commission, there's a big gap between 300,000 and 5 or 6, 7, 8 million. There's a huge gap. There's a lot of dollar bills in between those two numbers. So Aaron's personal challenge to Aaron, which should be your personal challenge to yourself, is what can you believe is possible? What are you willing to do to take massive action to make that happen? Because quite honestly, if I sold 30 transactions and I had an average transaction price of $500,000 or $600,000, I'm gonna make $300,000 easily. If I do 30 transactions and my average sale price is $800,000 or $900,000, my average sale price is $1 million, I'm going to make over $1 million in commission. And the difference simply is what I choose to look at, what I choose to be my target market, what I choose to go get. And it's the same thing for you. Simple things in life get overlooked. Y'all, I've said this to you over and over. Doers get things done. Doers get things done. And for you to truly change your life, for you to truly achieve the dream that you want to achieve, for you to truly do the things that you want to do and have the impact that you want to have, you got to do it over and over and over again. You got to make the calls. You got to go on the visits. You got to write the thank you cards. You got to send the emails. You've got to do the pot buys, do the pies, go out and visit people, go out and see people. Call the just listeds, call the just solds, knock on the doors. That's what it takes to do this business. And you got to do the same thing in your life. You've got to take care of your health. You've got to take care of your mental abilities. You've got to read and study and learn. You've got to take care of your emotions. You got to take some time for yourself. Go sit outside. Go take a walk in the woods. Go to the beach and hang out. You got to take care of your spirituality. You've got to spend time in church, in your community, time with God, time however you choose to do that. But you got to do all those things. The 4 levels of action. Do nothing. Just let it happen. Retreat. Go backwards. Shrink away from the challenge. Shrink away from the possibility that somebody may talk smack about you. Do what's required. Just be average. Just be like everybody else. Go out in the real estate business and make $30,000 or $40,000 a year and see how that feels. Or you could take massive action. You could decide today. Yesterday I called 5 people. Today I'm calling 10. Yesterday I called 10 people. Today I'm calling 20. The cool thing about it is, even if you're an idiot, and even if I suck, I printed 33 expired listings in Middle Tennessee. So there are expired listings. Just go back and search 3 months. Go back in the market that you want to work and the price point that you want to work. Just search for 3 months and go through the MLS and print as many expired as you can print. I've got a stack of about 30. There's a list of about 60 between 2 counties that I want to work. All over $1.5 million. And today I'm starting to call them. I don't know how many I'm going to get through, but let's say I call 20 and only 1 says yes. Only 1 says yes, I agree to meet with you. I call 20, 1 says yes, I agree to meet with you, and I get a $2 million listing. Do you think those 20 phone calls were worth it? Because I do. Because I'm not sure if you know this, but a $2 million listing pays you about $33,000 in commission. So those 30 pieces of paper and the hour and a half or 2 hours that it's going to take me to print those things or to call those people and to have those conversations, y'all, I'm going to suck at some of those conversations. I'm going to get hung up on. I'm going to have 19 no's, but I know I'm going to get a yes. I might get 2 yeses. Is that worth it? But I can sit there and I can look at that stack of papers. I can look at all those possibilities and I can look at them and I could wish they would call me and I could hope they would call me. But guess what? They don't know who I am. And so Grant Cardone said in his book today, he said the biggest factor to my success, the biggest hindrance to my success, therefore, the biggest single factor in me becoming successful is I went from obscurity to notoriety. And how I went from obscurity to notoriety is I just worked my face off. I just went out and went all day long, every single day, introducing myself to every company I could introduce myself to, introducing myself to every person who owned a business I could introduce myself to. And he said, I got a ton of no's and a ton of rejection, but I also made more money in that time of my life than any time previously. I didn't say that right way. I didn't have the right inflection there. He made more money when he just went out and took massive action in his quest for being obscure to notable. He made more money in that time of his life than he'd ever made previously, and was rejected over and over and over and over and over and over again. That's the great thing about this deal. Life rewards those who do it. Life rewards the actions. Life rewards those who get out and make it happen. So that's my encouragement to you today. I don't care where you are, what you're doing, what happened yesterday. Guess what? There's not ish you can do about yesterday. Yesterday is in a box, taped up, and put on a shelf. If you sucked yesterday, guess what? Nobody cares. Because yesterday has nothing to do with today. And waiting till tomorrow. Y'all know I love Jim Rohn. Jim Rohn said, tomorrow is an illusion. He said, the crazy thing about tomorrow is when you get to tomorrow, it becomes today. So waiting for something in the future is as detrimental as depending on the past to change your present. There's nothing in the past that's going to change this present moment. And sitting and waiting on something to happen to you in the future without you taking action is just as futile. Because as soon as you get to tomorrow, it turns into today. So I applaud you guys for being up this morning, being on this call. This is taking an action toward your day. This is taking an action toward being fantastic. This is taking some action into being fantastically great. This is taking some action. Y'all, there are 12 people on this call. How many people does this call go to? How many people have the availability to be on this call? It's a lot more than 12, I'll tell you. But there are 12 of you on this call right now, opening up your minds, opening up your hearts, listening, paying attention to every fourth or fifth word I say, and then there's something that's going to resonate, something hopefully clicks in your spirit, or you hear something today that helps you, motivates you, or intrigues you to take some action. Just test my theory. Maybe I'm full of crap. Maybe I'm completely full of crap, and I'm not telling you the truth. And maybe it's not in the action. Maybe it's not in the doing. But I challenge you today, when you start your real estate business, do more than you did yesterday and watch what happens. Do what Erica Macklin did 4 days ago, and call some for sale by owners today and watch what happens. Do what Craig Burke did yesterday and call some expireds and watch what happens. Because I promise you, I'm going to get listing appointments today. I don't know how many yet, but I'm going to get at least one listing appointment today that will be over $1.5 million. I'm going to generate one listing appointment, at least one. I'm thinking 3 is the number in my spirit, but I know I'm going to get at least one that's going to be over $1.5 million. If you knew every single day you could wake up and generate, y'all, there are 365 days in the year. If I take off 30 days, that's 335 days. If I subtract the first 25 days of this year, that is 310 days. 365 minus 30 is 335, minus 25 is 310. I have 310 days. If I take off weekends of 52 weeks, I take off another 100 days. Now I'm at 210 days. If every single day, if 200 times, imagine I could get 200 listings every single day. I call the same amount. Now, obviously, this is limited by the number of expireds in the market, right? But let's say for 200 days, I could call 20 expireds, because they're always going to expire. There's new expireds coming on the market every single day. And I got so good at expireds. Let's just say I didn't do it every day. Let's say I did it every third day. And every third day, I was able to secure one listing over $1.5 million. Sorry, I got something in my throat. I can say it. Let's say I was able to secure 60 listings in 2023 over $1.5 million. And I sold 80% of those. Would that be a pretty decent year? I would make over $2 million a year if I did that. The reason this business is so hard is because we're always looking for a magic pill. The reason your life sometimes becomes so hard is you're looking for some big thing to change. You're looking for some magic pill, some knight to come in on some knight in shining armor riding on a white steed to come in and save the day. You're hoping. There are some mornings I hope that Jesus is in my kitchen handing me my coffee saying, Aaron, here's what you do today. We all want some big thing to happen to us to make our lives different. When in fact, all life asks us to do is pay attention to the simple things. And pay attention to the simple things consistently over time. Instead of drinking the Coke, drink a water. Instead of eating the candy bar, have an orange. Instead of having a pizza, have a salad. Instead of scrolling TikTok, make a TikTok. Instead of aimlessly wandering through Facebook and looking at everybody else's highlight reel and feeling bad because your life doesn't measure up to that, do a social media post. Hell, better yet, go read a book. Hell, better yet, go call 4 people that need to hear your voice. We've been duped into believing that average is okay. But for any of you with kids, and any of you that have raised children, did you ever tell your kid when he got, Coach Bird talks about this all the time. Have any of you ever said to your kid, when you're kicking your kid out of the car to go to school, hey, bud, go be average today. Hey, bud, just go be like everybody else today. Whatever you do today, Jagger, don't stand out. Just act like everybody else. No, we don't say that. Every single morning, I kiss him on his head and say, dude, go be a leader. Go do something great today. I've taken that from Coach Bird. I stole that because I think that's fantastic. And every single day, I affirm in him when he goes to school, go do something great today. We want that for our kids. We implore that for our kids. If our kids come home and bring C's and D's because they're average, we get mad at them because we know they can do better. Yet we accept C's and D's in our own lives. We accept C's and D's in our business. We accept C's and D's in our personal relationships. We accept C's and D's in our personal growth and our development. We accept average in what we are and what we do. And I'm telling you right now, freaking stop. Stop it. You know what? Average people are going to talk trash. They are. When you start being awesome, when you start being great, haters have got to hate. That's what haters do. And average people throw shots, and people who've never done anything are the ones who are going to criticize you for doing more. And the ones who've never done anything with their business or done anything with their lives, they're going to be the first ones to tell you to stop. Who do you think you are? Why do you think you're better than me? You're going to drive yourself crazy. Oh, I wish you would sleep more. Oh, I wish you would rest more. Oh, I wish you would do less. And I'm telling you right now, you need to use those people as your indicators. If you're not hearing that in your life, if you don't have people saying that to you, you ain't doing enough. And I'm sorry for that grammar, but if you don't have people telling you you're doing too much, you're not doing enough. If you don't have people in your life saying crap to you because they think you're pushing too hard, y'all, doers get things done. You're not doing it enough. So I'm going to go back to what I talked about earlier. On that sheet yesterday, on don't hate the playa. Look, Cat Williams is one of my favorite philosophers of all times. And Cat Williams says, if you got 10 haters, your job today is to go get 20. Because haters don't hate average people. Haters don't throw shade at people who are doing nothing. The better you are, the bigger you get. And the more you do, the more haters you're going to have. New levels, new devils. And that's just the way it goes. That's the way life is. Ain't nobody worried about somebody doing average. This is no offense to anybody that works at McDonald's, but I promise you, I'm not sweating the people that work at McDonald's. I don't care what they look like, how they dress, how they talk, what they're doing, what kind of car they drive. I don't care about any of that. None of that bothers me. I'll talk crap about Grant Cardone. I'll talk crap about Coach Burt. I'll talk crap about people that are doing more than me. I shouldn't, but I'm just telling you I do. It's a human reaction. Because there's a little bit of jealousy. There's a little bit of envy. There's a little bit of, I wish I was doing that. There's a little bit of, I could do that. There's a little bit of, man. But then I shift that back around and go, you know what? They got what they got because they've done what they needed to do. And I've not done that. And that's where I'm at, that's why I am. That's why I am where I am, as Popeye would say. So my challenge to you today is this. Here's my challenge to you today. Look at that tally sheet that I sent. Diane, I'll send it to you. I've got to get off of here. It was built in 2007, 16 years ago. Nothing is new under the sun. The simple things are still the simple things. The simple things in life that mean the most are still the simple things in life that mean the most. The simple things that drive massive success in this business are still the simple things that drive massive success in this business. If y'all watch that video that I put on in the agent group yesterday and listen to Ben Bullock talk, he was a waiter. He was a waiter, wanted to be an actor. He was a waiter. I don't even know. I'm not even sure if I like this dude yet. Not sure yet. But I do respect his grind. He was a waiter, a struggling actor. Somebody said, you'd be good in real estate. You got to try real estate. He decided he was going to try real estate. He learned from somebody. He learned what needed to happen. He decided he was going to go out and work his face off to make it happen. He then decided, you know what? I can work just as hard to make this much money, or I can work this hard to make this much money. And all I've got to do is change my target. And he said, I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm just going to go do it. And he stopped calling houses that were $1 million and started calling houses that were $10 million. He stopped calling people that owned $1 million properties, started calling people that owned $30 million properties. And wouldn't you know it, he embraced the suck. He did it enough times to learn what to say and how to say it. He did it enough to figure out how he needed to do it. He then implemented a little bit of his natural talent, which was being on video, building some video presence, doing it over and over and over again. And now that cat is going to make $5 or $6 million in commission every single year for the rest of his life. He has created opportunity out of nothing. So while I may not like the dude, and I don't know if I like him or don't like him yet, I can absolutely respect his grind and respect what he did, because what he did is a roadmap for every one of you. It's a roadmap for me that if you will set your target, set your mind on what you're going to go after, and just go do the dang thing, understand you're going to suck. You're going to stink when you're new. I can't make cookies like Carrie Leland made cookies. It's going to take me a bunch of times to make cookies like Carrie Leland makes cookies. That's just the way it is. But I'm telling you, there's a motivation in me right now that I'm tired of being that dude that does average. And I'm tired of being that dude who does nothing. And I'm tired of that dude who retreats and waits something for on the outside to make it better for me on the inside. Because that's not the way nature works. And that's not the way life rewards. And success doesn't come to those who wait. Success comes to those who do. Success comes to those who are on the shovel, digging the dirt, who are on the phone, making the calls. Success comes to those who will do it in spite of the challenges, in spite of the haters, in spite of all the things that are out there. They sit down, they do what they have to do, because doers get things done. Go be a doer today. Don't wait anymore. It is the 25th day of January. You've had 25 days to get your ish together. You've had 25 days to set your goals, set your mind, and get your targets. Stop being blown by the wind. Stop being blown by the circumstances in your life. Stop being blown by what other people say to you. Take control. Grab the reins and say, you know what, y'all? Y'all are going to chill out a second, because I got big stuff I got to go do. You got to give mama an hour. Y'all go find something to do for an hour. Don't call me between 10 and noon. That's all I'm asking today. Don't call me between 10 and noon. I got things I've got to go do. And then you make the commitment to yourself to go do what needs to be done. You take control of your life. You go be a doer and go watch what happens. Y'all, I promise you, this is a fact. If you don't believe me, try me. I dare you. Try me. And see what happens. Vanessa, keep making your TikToks. Erica, keep calling for sale by owners. Carrie, keep making cookies and delivering them. Kristen, keep giving out pies even if it's not pie day. Michelle, you go keep knocking on doors. Y'all, keep doing what you're doing. And if it's not working and you don't have the right kind of action, you're not getting the right kind of results, do more. Just go do more. There's a book called The Power of One More. It's an Ed Milet book. It's The Power of One More. I'm not going to talk about it today, but maybe I'll talk about it another day. I did it last night. I'm trying to do it in my runs. I'm trying to do it in my workouts. And as I get through 75 hard, I'm always trying to do a little bit more. I started running this week. Yes, I've been walking for the last 3 weeks, and I implemented running this week. Last night in the workout, I had to do 5 sets of this one exercise. I did 6. Just do one more. The power of one more. One more phone call. One more door knock, one more call of an expired, one more conversation, one more lunch, one more just listen phone call. I'm just going to make one more call. Do it one more time. Doers get things done. Y'all, life's too fantastic. This business is too fantastic to not give it your all, to not give it your best effort, to not do the things that need to be done every single day on a consistent basis. It's too important. So get out there and get after it today, okay? Get after it today. Go do the things that need to be done. Go be a doer today. And when you don't feel like doing it, punch yourself in the face and say, let's go. Okay? Kick fear in the face. Go do the thing. All right. Love y'all. Love y'all. Be good. Be great. Be you. And we'll see you tomorrow. Bye, y'all.